Okay, this is project 3.3. This is your Excel spreadsheet, and here's your set of instructions down below. Just follow the same procedure where you're clicking on the All Office versions, let it populate in your window, immediately go to File, Save As, give it a location, and also rename it. Now the first thing we're going to do is insert a pie chart, and there's two ways of selecting the ranges. Non-adjacent. Non-adjacent means that it's not going to be consecutive like this. It means it's going to be two separate locations, and you can either use the technique of using a click and drag approach, hold down your control key, and then click and drag your second range. If you're not able to do that successfully, because you can't overlap, if you overlap with your dragging technique and you go to insert recommended charts, you will not have a chart. So if you're not comfortable with this technique, this non-adjacent technique, there's another way of doing it. The other way would be go up here to this name box, and you would type out the first range, which is A4 colon to F4, and then you separate it by a comma, and then you type out the second range, which is A13 colon to F13. And then when you're done typing that out, you just press enter and it will select it for you. And then you go to the recommended charts, and then you select the pie chart and select OK. Once your chart tools opens up, it wants you to go to the chart styles, and it wants you to go to number 12. It is sequential, so the last style is number 12. This one over here is 11. So you click on style number 12. Then it's going to ask you to reposition it. Now if you notice, my mouse pointer will change as it's in between. These bubbles here are resizing handles, but if you're over here on this border and you get this mouse pointer, it gives you the ability to click and drag your chart. Now they want the first top corner up in A21, and they want the other corner into G35. So I'm just going to drag this over to G, and then I'm just going to make sure it looks like the row's pretty good in 35. Doesn't have to be exactly on that line. Okay, so now moving down to number 5. Now they're asking us to go up here, and then remember, when you click off your chart, those ribbons go away. When you click onto the chart, you now have these two ribbons for your chart. They want us to change the chart type. The second one over is the 3D pie. When you click on it, here's the name, and that's what they want us to change it to. And I'm going to select OK. Now I'm going to blow this up, because now they want us to select our Atlantic slice, and this is number 6. And you can see Atlanta is the blue. So if you click on it once, you can see the bubbles are on all the slices, but if I double click again, you can see just that one slice has been selected, and you can see this pane automatically opens up. Now they want the point explosion to be 10%. If you type 10 and press enter, you can see that slice has pulled apart from the piece of pie. Alright, now I'm moving over to the back side to number 7. Now they want us to include data labels on this chart. Now the data labels, I'm going to close this pane. I don't need that for now. I'm going to go over to this chart element button, and when I click on that, here's my data labels. I'm going to turn it on. So the three elements on this chart is you have your title. We're going to get the labels on the slices, and then this is considered your legend down below. So let's turn on the data labels, but if you can see, it's only on this one slice. So what I'm going to do is click off on a white space, click back on this pie chart, and you can see now the bubbles are all the slices. So I'm going to turn on data labels, click on this arrow, select more options, because based on our set of instructions, it wants you to turn this option off. I would recommend turning on percentages on first, then deselect the value. That way this pane doesn't shut itself down. And as you can see now, we have percentages. These are our data labels. So the other thing they want us to do, I'm going to go home. They want us to apply the bold emphasis, and they want us to change the point size to 12. Now they want us to, so I'm going to click on a white space to deselect that. Now this is still selected, and this is my outline for the shape, and I want to go back to my chart tools, but this time I'm going to click on the format tab, and they want us to apply a shape outline, and it's going to be in this category, which is the purple accent 4, but I'm going to go down to the last square because they want it to be the darker 50%. Now I need to open that back up, because now I need to apply a weight, and the weight they want is 1 point. So if I click off of it, you can see there's an actual shape outline. So let me go back to my image. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change our worksheets, and now we're going to go over to, and I'm just going to go ahead. I just have a tendency to reposition myself at the top when I move into a different sheet. So I'm going to go to the Atlantic Revenue. Now at the Atlantic Revenue, we're going to insert a line chart. So this time, instead of us going to the insert, they're going to have us use a quick analysis button, and I'll explain what that is. So in 8B, they're asking us to select the range from A4, and we're going to drag over to E down to row 7. This is our range for our chart. Then if you notice, as I hover down over top of this bottom right hand corner, there's a quick analysis button. If you click on that, you can click on the category charts and then click on line. And there is my line chart. Now, however, they don't want it floating on this sheet. They want us to move it to its own worksheet. So I'll select this button, turn on this radio button by clicking on it, and then we're also going to give the name of our new worksheet, and we're going to type that out. And the new worksheet is, and this one here is on 8G. That's the name, promo, and then departments, DEPTS, and select OK. Now we have it on its own worksheet. So the other things we're going to do is we're going to change it, the layout, which is over here. And they want us to go to number 5, so there's layout number 5. And now I'm moving over to number 10. Number 10 now it's asking us, they want us to change the chart type. And then they want it with line with markers. And you can hover and the name will be there, or you can just click on it and you'll see the name there. And you select OK. So now we just changed the chart type. Now we're going to go and start applying these titles. This is number 11. Now you can go up here and type the title out. Or you can go up here and type it out. And you want to type out, and I just finished typing that out. And this is considered your formula bar. If you click on the check mark to enter it, you can see how that's now updated. Now let me blow this up a little bit. Now they want us to go over here to the access title, and the same thing. And this one is in 11D. They want us to type out dollar sales. And when you press enter, you'll see that it automatically updates over here. Okay, so the next thing they want us to do is they want to go change these little circles and make them bigger. So if you click on this, make sure all the circles have been selected. So I'm going to double click, and then I'm going to click again. So I let me click off. I double click because I wanted to open up this pane, but I want to make sure all my bubbles have been selected. Once they've been all selected, we're going to go to our bucket. And then we're going to collapse that. I'm going to go over to the markers and expand the marker options. And then I'm going to click on the built-in. And then I'm going to make this a 10 and press enter. And then I'm just going to go to the next category, the series. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just make sure that's set to 10. Make sure you press enter. And then I'm going to go down here to the last one, making sure all these have been selected. And then select built-in, and then type 10 and press enter. So that's all of number 11. Now I'm going over to the back side on page 4. Now page 4 wants us to switch, so I'm just going to click on a white space to deselect that and close that out. So now we're going to switch over to back to Atlantic Revenue. Now Atlantic Revenue, we're going to insert some spark lines. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to right click over column F and then select insert. So we insert a column. Then the range we're going to select, we want all this data right here. We're going to insert spark lines to represent these weeks. So highlight that range and then go to insert, and here's your spark line group. We want the lines. Now where it's saying, okay, well I see what you want to plot, but where are we going to return these lines? Well, just click and drag and it will self-populate that location. You select OK. Now we have our spark lines. So now it wants us to go to number 13, and A and B wants us to change the row and the height. So I'm just going to go to the Home tab, and if you go to the Format command button, the row height, they want that as 24 and select OK. And then I'm going to open it back up so I can enter my column width. And the width, they want it set to 35. And you select OK. And you can see the change has been applied. Now I'm going to go down here to this tab. And they want the markers turned on, or which are these little dots. The dots are representing the quantity here in each week. And you can see there's 4 weeks. And then it wants us to change the sparkline color. This one's black, comma, text 1. So you can see now these lines have changed. And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and click up here. And they want us just to change this orientation to landscape. And that's Project 3.3. Just save that and upload it and see how you did.